Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. This is the Saturday chat vid in this instance. It's a video which I worried I was going to run out of time and not be able to do at all. It's inside a game. I'm really struggling for time at the moment, what with things that are going on and work. Being in retail, which I should have known in advance really, it's sort of like picking up in sort of level of business, which is like in the Halloween season, and I've had hardly any other hours to actually do stuff. But the channel's still running. I would like to have a chat with you in some sort of like a description and give the members a shout out as well. So there's still a few things I can say. I'm not going to just go blah 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 for 10 minutes, otherwise it wouldn't be worth it. So hope you're doing okay, whatever you're doing, whether you're employed, unemployed, self-employed or whatever. The channel is primarily to defeat stress, and I will say once again, I will try and help people as much as I possibly can, but I suffer from stress as well, and I'm by no means an expert. If you've got a recurring thing that goes on and on and on, it's probably best to seek other advice, although I would try and help. But we all know this anyway, it's all a bit of fun, and we come together in the live stream and all that sort of stuff, and you know, beat everyday stresses. I'm just a guy running a YouTube channel, and you know, I'm not God, believe it or not. So yes, let's just go and talk about rubbish again. So hope you've been enjoying the videos on the channel to try and defeat stress, as I say. Been about 6 videos this time. You might have seen some, you might not have seen any of them. A bit of a mixed bunch. Some of them are better than others, but there's a few classics in there as well. In case you haven't seen them, I'll do a quick rundown, so if you see them and you want to jot back and have a look at the full review, you can do. It's not expert gameplay, it's dodgy chat and having a laugh. So there was Rick Dangerous, wasn't there, on the ZX Spectrum, which we also looked on the live stream on a Tuesday, in the 128K. I only thought this game before had come out on the Commodore Amiga, so it's good to see it finally on the Spectrum. It's devilishly difficult, but also it's quite addictive in the fact that there's some terrible traps and you're going to die each time and then get that little bit further away. On the live stream, some people gave me some tips because some of the background is green on green. There's some devilish spikes I kept running into and not seeing them, but I managed to blow them up. So it's quite a good, if not challenging, platformer, and we'll have to come to the sequel at some point. There's also a game by Arctic Computing called Big Ben Strikes Again. Very, very flickery, very, very of the era. You had to go around as Ben of the Chronicle and give 6 items to 6 politicians of the day, so they can give you clues. You can break the big scoop of the day. There's not much to it. The controls are a little bit iffy, but yes, I have a look at that. It's completable. I did it with a poke, and I did actually complete it within the review with the poke on. So there you go. Big Ben Strikes Again. You might not have heard of that. And the other Spectrum game was, well, Zosja Entertainment's. It was still a fantastic game, but their high standards weren't quite as fantastic as the other ones, but still pretty fantastic. And it was only released as a B-side anyway, from the Dark Redux. This is the Dark Lost Pages. Yes, it's whereas the Dark was a first-person game, this one is a 2D horizontal scroller. You go around a map. And essentially it's a bit of fun, jabbing stuff, finding keys and going through certain doors. I got lost quite quickly, but there we go. That's sort of like me playing. If you had an Amiga in the early days, then you might have had this game first of all. It would have sold a lot of Amigas when it first came out. Back in 1986, a classic strategy war game called Defender of the Crown. It's not as technical as games that would come later, like Powermonger by Bullfrog, but Defender of the Crown, you control either one of 4 kings in Anglo-Saxon England, and the idea was to take over the whole of England by doing jousts, raiding castles, building up your army, building catapults and building your own castles and claiming the land. A good soundtrack all the way through, a lot of people's favourite game back in the day, and many people have quite warm memories of that game. I didn't have it, but I wish that I had done, and it might have been one of my favourite games of the week, despite being not really that good at it. And on the Atari 2600, we looked at Pressure Cooker. This is coming from a recommendation. It's a sort of like game you can't really play without reading the instructions or getting the gist of basically what to do. But essentially you're a chef in one screen. Burgers are coming down a conveyor belt. You have food fired at you from another section. You must complete specific orders, the correct elements of the burger, and then deliver them in the correct delivery chute on the screen below before your timers run out or before you run out of chef points. Once I was getting a bit better at it, I thought this game was pretty good. A few people in the comment section said it was one of their favourite games of all time on that particular system, and I can quite often see why. Pressure cooker, and a good name for a game as well. And the last game we looked at was on the Nintendo 64. Already looked at, the last time we looked at Nintendo 64 was Rampage World Tour. So this time we looked at Rampage 2 Universal Tour. This time the three main characters you would have controlled in the previous game have all been captured, and Scum Labs Laboratory have developed three other super giant hero type people, including a giant lobster and a giant mouse. You must smash up, first of all, cities on England, just like, well, not England, the world, just like before. And if you get to a specific area, I think aliens attack, and then you go off smashing alien cities instead. It's a whole heap of fun. Controls are similar to the first game, but there's a bit of improvement over the graphics and so forth, although they both play pretty similar. And that was pretty good as well. So, you know, I like Defender of the Crown, that was good. Dangerous was good to see, and always good to see a Zosya game. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news recently where you are. The story that caught my eye the most, I would have to say, was the story of Donald Trump and a new social media platform he's looking at. Now, if you didn't know, you probably do already, Donald Trump used to have a vibrant Twitter account when he was on Twitter as the US president. He was very vocal about people. He'd spin lots of stories every day, cutting into lots and lots of people rather unfairly. There was a spoof account of him separate, and that person gave up their spoof account because he said he couldn't compete with the actual stuff that Donald Trump was coming out with. So he was unspoofable. Yes. Eventually, Twitter didn't ban him because he was president of the United States. But they started putting captions on his tweets saying this isn't fact-checked or something to that degree, trying to tell basically they were lies or they was unsubstantiated, everything he was saying. Obviously, there was a bit of toing and throwing. Donald Trump didn't like this, and eventually, I think the account got a warning first of all. I think it did get banned, or he left the platform, but Twitter didn't actually want him there because it was like, as Donald Trump would say, false news. Now, Donald Trump obviously disagreed with this. He disagreed with all of this stuff, and then he's gone a bit quiet since Biden took over. I'm not saying Biden's the answer, but, you know, who is. Now, the news that's recently, bearing in mind Donald Trump's social media history, is it was announced that Donald Trump's going to start his own social media platform. Well, what do? If you're banned from social media, you can invent your own social platform and be on that. It's going to be called Truth Social. The truth we're talking about, and it's said to is standing up to the tyranny of big tech, so or anyone that disagrees with Donald Trump, I presume. Now, before I was just going to go live with this thing, I did read something else as well, that although the site isn't live yet, I think it's going to be via an app as well. It seems like the front end been ripped off another social media outlet, and they're maybe trying to sue or do something. Let's read that again. It's called Mastodon or something. Yeah, there we go. It's called Mastodon. Mastodon. Someone on Twitter posted that they got, although the site isn't live, it got a URL to the thing. And yeah, Mastodon said this looks familiar because it was exactly the same. Now, whether that's just a placeholder before it goes live, who knows? But it's not off to a great start, is it? Are you going to be a member? Are you going to ditch your social media and be a part of Trump's Truth Social? Well, keep an eye on this. I don't know how close it is to being released. I don't know how exactly it's going to work, but there's something as an alternative if you want to do it. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's good, but I haven't been there, so I don't know, because it isn't made. But it's on shaky ground, if you ask me. Time will tell, time will tell. Now, I would just say a big happy birthday to a guy called James Pixie Dixie. So happy birthday, James Pixie Dixie. It's your birthday either today or tomorrow, I think. And you've hit the big 50. So, you know, 50 years on planet Earth. That's not bad, is it? 50 years. I mean, I'm, how old am I? I keep forgetting. I think I'm 47. So I got 3 years to be when I'm 50. but the people that watch this video are quite often of similar ages. There might be people a lot younger. Well done, I'm quite jealous of you. It's inclusive of everyone. But 50 years, it's gone quick. It doesn't seem that long ago where I was in my 20s at a club close to me called the Pink Toothbrush, getting thrown out of there, going in places. Doesn't seem that long ago, but when I analyse it, it was the 90s. It was the start of Britpop, all new music to me I was unfamiliar with, Blur, Oasis, Nirvana, loads of other ones I still can't remember the name of, Reef there. There were, there's loads of obvious ones. I got dragged to the Reading Music Festival a couple of years. I liked it the second year because I was getting more into the music then. But it was at the time I was still into Michael Jackson and Prince, and they was never going to be playing down the Pink Toothbrush. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know how far you are in life, James Pixie Dixie, but all hail to you. Here's to the next 50. You're not old until you're in treble fifties, I don't think. But yeah, I'm 47 now, 3 years ago. So a big happy birthday to you. I'm sure people can put their comments in who are already 50 or already past 50. It doesn't matter. Age is just a number. Right, now I need to update the lights on this. As you can see, I'm filming it a bit later on in the day. This is late on a Thursday. I have to edit it on Friday. No, this is late on a Friday. I have to edit on Saturday and get it up Saturday. I'm very close to being able to, I've had to shrimp and save, so thank you to the super chats and the members as well and all that sort of stuff. I've had to shrimp and save, so I'm quite close to upgrading the tech. Now some people might say, Nick, you don't need to upgrade the tech, it's good as it is. That's wrong thinking. There's a lot of competition on YouTube. I always want to try and move forward, even if it's gradual, otherwise you stay in the same place, tech overtakes you, and before you know it, you're nowhere. So I'm very close to, first of all, upgrading the lighting. Now the microphone setup on this, it's using the camera mic, that can be improved as well there, and probably better lighting rigs too. Quite close to upgrading the camera. That might happen at the end of the year or early on the new year. And then of course there's this other plan, all costs really, there's this other plan to upgrade, well, get an additional computer so I can maybe start streaming more complicated stuff like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, that sort of stuff. I know we mainly like retro stuff, but that's sort of like where it's sort of like going. So always try and move forward, and with that as well I'll be able to upgrade my editing software, teach myself a few new skills as well. So we've got different overlays, different captions, and just upgrade the finish of the thing. So it's always boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. So you should never settle with quality wise, you never, especially in media, you should never settle with what you've actually got, although it doesn't seem like it's moving. It is moving, but it's a time thing. The more time you got, the more time you got for research and development and improving it. I know I promised a lot of stuff, and then I think, how the hell am I going to do this? A little bit awkward at the moment. So the plans are actually there, and we'll see how that particularly goes. Now, what else did I want to say? I've got shout-outs in a minute. I think that might have been it. Happy birthday to James Pixie Dixie on 50. Donald Trump. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to say as well. Now, in the UK, I don't know how it is in other countries. In the UK, the COVID rates are gradually going up again. Now, I still wear a mask when I go out, but I'm in the minority. I was on the bus the other day, and I might mention in another video, but it's a similar thing. Half the bus don't have a mask on, half do. It's starting to get to less than half now in an enclosed space. Now, there's been pressure on the government to actually do something. I don't want there to be another lockdown, because I thought I got all that hell out of us before. People's general opinion, I think, in the public in the UK is, if you've had 2 jabs done and a booster, why do you need to keep wearing the mask? Fair enough. That is a very good question. Well, you know, the thing can mutate apparently. People come in from other countries with other strains, and sometimes even if you've been double jabbed, the effectiveness wears off, hence the booster. And then you could still be prone with carrying the thing or pass it on to someone else, or if someone's frail or something like that, or the effects are worn off, that could be potentially life-threatening to them. Government always have to act to popular opinion. I don't want another lockdown over Christmas again, because it affects the economy, it affects all sorts of things. So I don't know what your thoughts about there. Is it been over-reported, do you think, in the media, like the fuel crisis was, and people are panicking there, or do you think it's a serious threat? I'm a little bit concerned, but I've got to the point now where I can't really trust figures in the press or or reports, 'cause it's all about sensationalism, but I think there might be something there. Yes, anyway, so a few things there. Didn't go out walking again this time, but hopefully you understand. Okay, so I've got a few shout outs here again. A huge thank you to everyone that's supporting the channel. If you subscribe, that's fantastic. If you're able to do a little bit further and get on the first tier of the members, that'll really help me upgrade the tech a little bit quicker, and I wouldn't have to work so hard, so I've got more time to do more interesting videos, although we will still keep it there. So thank you. I will always keep pushing, even if people tell me not to, because if I don't stop pushing, the channel goes down, 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 and then I get in the habit of not making videos, and then it gets super tough. A bit like if you keep going running every day, then go 3 weeks without running, then it's really hard to start running again. Hope you know what I mean. And that's why there's, in the history of YouTube, there's millions of channels that have opened, and probably 99% of those have closed. So I don't want to be one of those, and with your support, it's making it happen. So if you're on the second tier and above, then a big thank you to you. I will give you a shout out on stuff that you are doing. So here we go this time round. So thank you, everyone. Okay, so we're turning the corner now. I've recently moved jobs, as you know, so stress has gone down. It's just trying to gradually get the balance of the thing. So big thank you to Dogs. Thank you, Dogs, and your support in the live streams as well. It's been phenomenal, the help you've given me in the live stream. So thank you, Dogs. You know, huge thanks to you, sir. Big thank you to Obed Brinkman. Apologies to Obed, because I did his link in the last couple of videos, and there was a typo in there, but not this time. Big thank you to Obed Brinkman. He's got this site on Instagram. I recommend that you go there. He drops all these photos in there. They're quality photos, so have a look on those. Maybe give a couple of the photos a like and tell him how you discovered his site as well. It's Obat Photography, spelt correctly there. So it's Instagram.com/Obat Photography. So it's Instagram.com/Obat Photography. That link there has been corrected. Have a look at all these photos. There's loads there, and he's pretty skilled at what he does. So thank you, Obed, and sorry about the spelling error in the last one. So thank you. Massive thanks to Grey Hulk 2. Always keeps my spirits up. Be more Commodore 64 games to come, no doubt. Thanks to you, sir. Thank you to Pete James as well, also helping me, and also Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession. What a name! You know, if you're gonna choose a YouTube name, go for that. I'm gonna say it again: Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession. Good stuff. A big thank you to GTP Films, David Harakara. Thank you. Special thanks to Neil Barrett and your game suggestions. Can't do all of them, but you suggest a hell of a load of good games. So thank you, Neil. A big thank you to Ratty and Mallard1. Rzone 1255. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The magnificent Alf Fairweather. Thank you, Al, for your support as well. You're a very good chap. Torquemada and Jason Smith. Thank you, fellas. The wonderful Nikki S. Thank you, Nikki. I know you catch a few live streams when you can. Huge thank also to Claire Johnson. Hope all is well, Claire. There, coming into the end of the year. We're getting close, aren't we? Also, thank you to What Ho Snorkers. Thank you, What Ho. I'd love to meet you all at some place. I think the other day someone said to me there was some sort of like games festival or something at Blackpool, but I couldn't actually make it. If something like that settles down, I'd be up to going to one of those. But thank you to John Roby, Jeffrey Searby, thank you, and Steve Norman. Now, Steve Norman runs the blog RETROARCADIA.BLOG, so have a look at that. It's up. There's new blogs on there quite regularly. There's been a few this week. He's looked on the ZX Spectrum a game called Rogue Trooper, which is a game I haven't reviewed, I don't think. And also he's looked at a few other bits and pieces, in particular on Panorama Cotton, I think, on the Switch. And also he's had a bit of a roundup of games that he's been playing this week. So have a look at Steve's site. If you haven't been there for a while, it's had a bit of a revamp the way it looks to make it easier to get to all the different and most recent blogs. Looks really professional, and I highly recommend going to see that. So it's RETROARCADIA.BLOG by the talented Steve Norman. Thank you, Steve. Massive thanks as well to Lammy. I'm just calling you something else. No, it's Lemmy Barnett. There's no one called Lammy here. We're not at the moment. Thank you, Lemmy. To Steve Q. Thank you for your tremendous help, Steve, over the last 12 months. It's been absolutely magnificent. So thank you, Steve. They're helping with the tech as well, so thank you. Phil Hill, thank you Phil. Chono Baggy, Jason Holmes and David B73. Thank you very much, David. Is that camera still on? It is. That was a bit lucky. Did a very funny thing. Imagine this whole video hadn't been recorded yet. I would not have been happy. But anyway, the red light's flashing, so that's good. So yeah. So thank you, you lot, and also a huge thank you to everyone on the upper tier. You know, I'd like to come round and shake your hand personally. So thank you, everyone. So a big thank you to Rossi Bossy. Now have a look at Rossi's site there. He's very busy at the moment doing work and all those sort of things, but he has got a few games on his site. They're up there called Nifty Lifty 2, Re-Enduro, and there might be a few other ones there as well. There's a Christmas sort of like game on there that I haven't played yet, so I'm bound to review that nearer the time, which should be quite soon. I think Rossi done that last year. So have a look at that, Re-Enduro, Nifty Lifty 2, and of course in the background Rossi's working on Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix. So there we go. Well done, Rossi. I'll give you more news of that when I get it. Okay, good stuff. Massive thank you to Martin R. Thank you, Martin. There we go. Okay, and let's go on to like handheld camera to make it look a bit like we was going on a walk, but not really. To say a big thank you to Colin Hode. Thank you, Colin, for all of your help there. I've got you specially on Wobble Cam, so there we go. Have a good weekend, sir. Have a good weekend. Also, big thank you to I'll say hello to Tom R as well. Hello, Tom R. Thank you, thank you. Why not? Big thank you to Richard Mitten, Tom as well. Thank you. Also, Graham Webke. Thank you, Graham, my friend in good old Australia. And also Jules M. Thank you, Jules, for everything you do, and the big cabs as well. Don't ask you to do them, don't feel that you have to do them, but I'm glad that you do them. So thank you there. Now, Julie's working on a site. I've got it in here now because it always changes. I've got to keep up with the thing. Right, it's myoldtoybox.weebly.com. So have a look at that site. myoldtoybox.weebly.com. Let's have a look what this says. Come on, Nick. Right, okay. Right. Right, okay. So this is all about... Julie's had this new idea of showing her soft toys that she's got that have been specially made, so you won't see them anywhere else, using an idea of video caps to show the most unusual handmade toys made for her back in the 70s. Big range there, from a knitted finger puppet to rather strange looking red cat. There, I don't know if you ever had any toys that are homemade for you back in the day, going back to that sort of era. If you have, then have a look at this. It might be a bit of a nostalgia buzz for you there, and you can comment and compare and share stories, and that's what retro is all about, whether it be computer games, music, anything that can take you back to those sort of like nice times there. So there we go. So it's myoldtoybox.weebly.com /soft toys there. So, or you can go by the navigation. So concentrate on the soft toys thing. There's a lot of information there as well about various bits and pieces. So thank you, everyone. I don't think this was rushed. We had a bit of information there. We covered a few things. Donald Trump's staff being 50 years old, and COVID, and the recap, and all that sort of stuff. So try not to sweat the small stuff if you're going through a lot at the moment. Things will change one day at a time there. Yeah, there'll be a few videos on Saturday. The members will know what videos they will be. A couple of ZX Spectrum ones. On Sunday there'll be another couple of videos there. So yeah, it is a challenging schedule, but it's fun to do as well, and it's possible to do. It's all about planning my time, and we've upgraded the tech as well. It'll make it a bit more easier to do, one would have hoped. So thank you for watching the video. If you have made it to the end, well done you, hurrah. Big thank you to the members as well. And until next time, take great care of yourself. Or the live stream might be Wednesday next week, I'm not sure because of the scheduling. But anyway, till next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.